And then I said, that's not a camel.
Okay, that's dorky. All right. Welcome, new board members, and welcome back to the rest of you. I'm your mayor, or actually I'm the city administrator, Ben Martig.
And I'm Ben Martig, the city administrator.
We'll be providing general information that applies to all boards and commissions. Your staff liaison will go over additional information for your particular board or commission later on. Pay close attention as you will be quizzed throughout the presentation. I'm honored to serve with a city council that is so dedicated to serving Northfield. Each of them brings unique perspectives and insights to leading our community. Even though those perspectives can clash sometimes, we are stronger together. Working together, exploring, debating, and even disagreeing improves our ideas, brings attention to risks, and leads to enhanced trust among us. We are committed to improving our community. On behalf of the City Council, I want to let you know how valued you are to our organization and community. By learning about our legal structures and roles and responsibilities, we are strengthening our commitment to the community. There are about 200 volunteers serving on our advisory boards, commissions, and special committees. Each of you is important to our success as a community. Our city's vision defines who we are and how we got here, and what our aspirations are as we look to the future. Our vision is Northfield is an open, safe, and welcoming community, recognized for its world-class colleges and historic riverfront downtown, and is dedicated to sustainably enhancing and preserving its vibrant culture, celebrated arts, strong economy, and an excellent quality of life where all can thrive.
Why do we exist? Why are we here? Why did Harry and Meghan leave the royal family? Our mission tells us why we exist. It declares our purpose. Mission statements often includes a general description of the organization, its function, and its objectives. The mission is intended to inform our vision and put it to action. Our mission is to work for the common good of our residents and businesses and the improvement of our community by providing excellent, innovative municipal services that carry out our city's vision for a high quality of life for all.
Time for your first quiz. What three people are members of the City Council? A. Clarice Greba, Jamie Reister, and George Zucolato. B. Jordan Greenway, Zach Parise, and Matt Zuccarello. Or C. Michelle Williams, Kelly Rowland, and Beyonce Knowles. What aspirations are part of Northfield's vision? A. Open, safe, welcoming. B. Closed, treacherous, and rejecting. C. Mysterious, mystical, and sparkling. What is part of Northfield's mission? A. To work for the common good of our residents and businesses. B. To bring inspiration and innovation to every athlete in the world. C. To ignite the human spirit through the power of sea-based discovery and adventure.
There are some important state laws to be aware of. One is the open meeting law. All board and commission meetings are public meetings. You're required to provide advance notice of your meetings, at least 3 days with the date, time, place, and purpose. Staff helps to ensure this is met. The law defines a meeting as a gathering of a quorum or more of a public body where the public body discusses, decides, or receives information on issues relating to official businesses. Serial meetings are exchanges between individual members of a public body on a topic close in time that collectively involve a quorum. This includes emails. Exchanging emails between members can be considered serial meetings that are subject to the open meeting law. A tip to avoid this is to use the blind carbon copy on emails to limit the possibility of serial meetings, and don't use reply all. You should discuss business at your meetings. If you need to share information in between meetings, send the information to your staff liaison. If you're found to break the open meeting law, there can be significant penalties that include reasonable cost disbursements and attorney fees, and including significant fines up to $13,000 or $300 for each individual fine. Please work with your city staff liaison if you have a question on the open meeting law.
Boards and commissions are also subject to the Minnesota Data Practices Act. The Act explains what information is public information. In Minnesota, most of the information you will deal with as an advisory board and commission members will be considered public. Consult the staff liaisons if you have any questions or concerns.
Quiz time. When I want to talk about board and commission business, I should A, talk at a meeting, B, send an email to everyone, or C, post on Facebook. Most information boards and commissions deal with is considered A, public, B, fake news, C, on a need-to-know basis.
Included in your board materials is the Northfield City Council adopted rules of business. All of the rules are equally important, but just like my children, my favorite are the first two. Appendix A, Rules of Order, and Appendix B, Rules of Decorum. The Appendix A, Rules of Order, has some modified rules of Robert's Rules. The Rules of Order are like the general instructions on how to formally take action at your meetings, like motions and other procedures. The Appendix B, Rules of Decorum, are established to ensure a civic and orderly boardroom. Most of them are generally common sense, like turning off your cell phone and not using dismissive body language. However, please take the time to read through them in their entirety.
I got a comment to make here.
You can't make comments. On a line. When tempted to fight fire with fire, remember that the fire department usually uses water. Civility really is a priority for me as mayor, and I encourage you to lead by example. As outlined in the Rules of Decorum, the responsibility of enforcing decorum primarily resides with the chair, but all board members are important to building a positive board environment. Included in your materials are the applicable ordinances and bylaws that apply to your board or commission. As a point of reference, this book holds all of our city ordinances that guide each of our boards and commissions. Please be familiar with these and take the time after this presentation to briefly go over these at your meeting, so everyone is familiar with your particular roles and responsibilities.
All right, I got the first one.
I got it. Can't keep raccoons as pets.
Curfews for minors.
Oh, I got it. That one's about me being the boss at meetings. Mayor presiding.
I think this one has to do with me. Something to do with city administrator roles and responsibilities.
Oh, I got it. That's about cutting tall grass and weeds. You'll be quizzed later.
It is important that everyone understands each other's roles and what is expected. We should be supportive of differing viewpoints and maintain an inclusive and respectful boardroom. Have fun and encourage humor. We are doing serious work, but we don't have to take ourselves so seriously.
Let's talk about the different roles and responsibilities. We're going to use a green light, yellow light, and red light to illustrate behavior you should be promoting, things to be cautious about, and things you should stop and think about.
For board and commission chairs, let's think of those items you should be promoting. Follow the agenda that is presented and approved at the meeting. Be intentional about the meeting start and end times. Find ways to engage other board members, including those who may not normally speak up. Be cognizant of taking turns and encourage a positive tone.
Some things to be cautious of include assigning board administrative research. Staff is a great resource, so first make sure they are supportive and work as a team to assign this type of work. with clear expectations to come back to the full board. Be intentional about adding additional agenda items, as our staff have limited resources. Consider looking at a work plan over a course of several meetings. Lastly, be intentional and thoughtful on boardroom items that may be presented outside of your meetings.
When you have a red light, take pause for determining appropriate direction. For example, staff is a resource provided by administration, so be respectful of consulting them on delivering action. A cooperative model really works best to work through priorities and deadlines together. Our staff have many responsibilities outside of the boardroom, so talk to them about their availability. Also avoid assigning board members administrative duties. Again, there may be appropriate times to do so, but there should be discussion with fellow board members and staff to clarify when or if this is appropriate for the board to work on these administrative duties.
Board members should come prepared to meetings and fully participate. You are encouraged to participate through discussions. Be respectful of staff and work cooperatively to understand relevant guiding documents or studies that might apply to your board. Ask questions on council-adopted strategic initiatives.
Similar to the chair role, be careful and have good discussions if you are taking on administrative research. If you find information that is relevant and will inform a policy issue the board is working on, I would encourage you to bring the insights forward to share with staff and the full board. When proposing other items for future agendas, first check in with the board chair or staff for feedback on appropriateness and also timing. We have approximately 7 city staff members that serve board and commissions of 200 volunteers. The City Council's strategic priorities are also implemented by these staff, which really requires a planful workload management.
Board members shouldn't lead discussions or direction of agenda items. Be respectful of the chair to follow the agenda and run the meeting. Instead, find ways to provide a supportive role at meetings and allow the chair to speak for the board outside of the meetings, unless agreed upon by everyone. For staff, a lot of the work is done before and after the meeting. These include things like developing the agenda with input of the chair and background memos. During the meeting, staff is assigned to take minutes, answer questions, and provide clarification on related items.
Staff can be helpful at meetings to help with the meeting flow and tone by interjecting when things get off track. This, of course, is an art and not a science, so there's a balance to allow the chair and board to work through things, but staff can be very useful in these cases. It is important for staff to stay within their roles. Staff should be available to assist the board chair during the meeting, but they should not take on the role of running the meeting. Similarly, if the board is considering action, staff should allow the board to take their action and respect their action. Most of the boards and commissions are advisory, and staff may occasionally have the opportunity to provide other alternative options or recommendations to the City Council separate from the boards. This is fine, but the board should also have the opportunity to provide their recommendations and be heard. I like this flight analogy slide that shows boards and staff working relationships together. The higher the airplane, the greater the board responsibility. Boards are responsible for the high-level things like the vision, strategic goals, and priorities. The City Council is primarily responsible in affirming those values with the support of staff. As you get lower, you transition things over to staff like projects and day-to-day work. I encourage you to use this illustration to have some discussion with staff and board members about the roles and responsibilities as we work to implement the Council's strategic plan and other specific priorities your board or commission may be working on.
We strongly encourage you to attend Board and Commission training and appreciation events in the months of October, March, and April. Be on the lookout for information on the State of the City address and other all-member events. These really are important events that will give you information and tools to become better board and commission members, as well as help you gain a wider perspective. With the ever-changing situation of the pandemic, we're not sure if the events will be postponed, virtual, or in person. Thank you so much for your service, and we hope to see you soon.
We are pleased to have a full-time project coordinator to help carry out the strategic plan, measurements, and reporting. One of the areas you can help us out right now is in the diversity, equity, and inclusion goals. One of our strategic outcomes around this priority is to increase the diversity of the people serving on our boards and commissions to more closely reflect the diversity in our community. We view data as an essential tool in tracking our progress. As such, we are asking all board and commission members to complete this anonymous form. If you haven't already received it or filled it out, please take a few moments to complete the form. Filling out the form is voluntary, and there are no consequences if you choose not to provide the data. Thank you so much for your help in this effort.
The City of Northfield website is a great resource for information. Each board and commission has their own pages under the government menu. You can find video, minutes, and agenda packets there. You can also sign up for email updates on a whole host of topics. And as a board member or commissioner, you will be copied on city news releases and monthly city administrator memos. You'll always be in the know for what's going on at the city. The Board and Commission Member of Excellence Award recognizes an individual city board member or commissioner for accomplishments of outstanding worth in advancing and improving public service in the City of Northfield. This is a way to recognize just one of the many wonderful volunteers on our city boards and commissions. Nominations are submitted by peers on boards and commissions. You have an application in your materials, and I highly encourage you to nominate a current or outgoing board or commission member. You're doing good work for the community, and we want you to strive for successful relationships with your fellow board and commission members. We are all part of the same team. Be honest, sensitive, friendly, patient, and tolerant of different viewpoints. I encourage you to practice good faith, give people the benefit of the doubt, and work cooperatively with one another. Follow your passion, stay true to yourself. Never follow someone else's path unless you're in the woods and you're lost and you see a path, then by all means you should probably follow that.
Okay, let's go over what we've learned today. What are 5 things you are going to do? Fill in the blank. Review blank and blank. A, bylaws and ordinances. B, law and order, SVU. C, terms and conditions. Develop blank relationships. A, successful. B, hostile. C, vengeful. Nominate someone for the blank. A, Board and Commission Member Excellence Award. B, Lady Bing Award. C, Foot in Mouth Award. Keep in my mind my blank. A, roles and responsibilities. B, nook and cranny. C, wins and losses. I'm going to have fun and inject blank into my blank. A, humor, work. B, fuel, engine. C, bad words, sentences.
We deal with serious challenges in our community, but we need to also balance our seriousness with some fun. I hope you learned a few things while having some fun with us today. Thank you for taking the time today and for serving Northfield.